Hair needs to be cut. Baby! Oh, man, you're getting heavy. God, Buddha. One, two, three. You just had a 2-second mark.
I like trains. Now that we get that out of the way,
I like trains. Accurate.
A recent thing that happened to me, which was I was diagnosed with autism. I'm gonna leave some time there for a lot of you to be like,
Mrs. Voice.
Duh. We knew. Well, if you knew, why didn't you tell me? No one told me. I want to talk about it because I think it's important to open up that conversation, because after having it be diagnosed officially by a doctor, a lot of people came to me and were like, oh, but you're so, like, social, and you're so, like, your communication is great, and, like, I couldn't tell. And I think that that's an important distinction to make, because even for me, growing up in, like, the 90s or the early...
I gotta put us on pause here, right? Because I would love to add this. This is supposed to be... I put out some Jacksepticeye for some bloody odd reason, right? I used to watch a little bit of his videos when I was a little younger, right? Like, still like my 20s and whatnot. I just like how Jack says, "Come to my dear laddies," right? I love that, right? And if you know about me outfits, right? Okay, for me lads, August last is not healing, okay? And did August and did a quit. I basically have found this on Reddit because I was bored and I was feeling discouraged to compare myself towards other people and, you know, just how to distract myself and, you know, still worry about my swamp. This is my swamp. That Deon had to steal him for me because she thinks she's female far ass. Jacksepticeye, right? He basically had, like, a serious thumbnail because I read somewhere on Reddit that even though autism is an awesome thing, at the same time it's not because it's a huge struggle. Let's just say as you get older, let me continue playing it, and the quality it's at, Deon, it's supposed to be, because I'm currently having another video processing right now. It's supposed to be, the 9-year-old that invented, like, a portable, like, Mario Brothers Game Boy. That's this processing, so that's probably why it's a little bit slow. But this got my attention, and I have to do, like, a little, like, reaction of Jacksepticeye. It's just that you want good to see his face, and I need to cut my hair because I haven't bathed in over Deon, I think it's like a week and a half because of my clinical depression. But if you look up Lucifer and Has-Been Hotel, you can see where I'm coming from for clinical depression. It may be laughable, but it's not. Okay.
2000s, autism had to be that thing that was what is now known as nonverbal autism. It had to be the people who need to stim all the time. It had to be people who need repetitive motions, who can't really communicate well.
There is basically, like, what Jack is saying here, right, is that there are spectrums of autism. Even though I am not diagnosed, I did, growing up, was diagnosed with ADHD because I basically had to take pills, right, before we had recess. Even though, I guess you could say I do have, let's just say, like, Asperger's. It's a little different than being autistic, you know, it's like in the same category. I just know that, Deon, even though you're not diagnosed, you do have the signs of it, because growing up, I never liked to give eye contact. I'm really sensitive to noise, right? And let's just say I always had to wear earphones when I'm out in public. I do not like to give eye contact with people, right? And also, I like to repeat myself. I think that's also another autistic habit, and liking certain things, right? So, there's spectrums of it, so to speak.
Is that, like, really stereotypical version of it that a lot of people still think today is what autism is? And don't get me wrong, that is part of the spectrum of it, and some people are that way, but that's not the entire picture anymore. And for me, for a long time, I was like, oh, I have ADHD. And I thought that that was the reason why a lot of the things I do are the way I do them. But it turns out that ADHD and autism are also like a Venn diagram, or like they're part of the same spectrum, or however you want to visualize it. It's basically, I don't want to say basically, but to put it like in the basic, most banal terms, they're basically the same thing. And I got tested because of my own curiosity. I just like figuring out how my body is, why I am the way I am, how I kind of like fit into different places in the world, and also just to kind of like give myself peace of mind, because when I was a kid, I was the outsider. I was weird. I played video games too much on my own. I like stayed liking the things that other people didn't really like anymore. Like, they moved on, like, oh, I don't like video games anymore. And I'm like, oh, I still like...
Cool. If you see my old like photos, the way I dressed a decade ago, I still kind of dress the same, but like I match, right? I guess you could say for anyone that are Californians, what kind of do's and dudettes. I know Darren's from California. I used to dress similar to a hipster, right? I know we got a ton of Californians here, so maybe that's why that people like the way I dress. Like, I know we got a lot of Californians, but let me continue. This video is kind of long because I'm not sure how much storage I can use. So I may have to stop at the 8-minute mark. If any are interested, I can continue. I want to hear more of this, but I just want to hear what your thoughts, and I don't want to load here. I kind of want to do this on the live stream, but I'm sorry if I keep.
I love Sonic the Hedgehog and trains. I actually don't even really like trains or Sonic the Hedgehog.
I don't know where the train stereotype came from. I do like trains. Oder in Deutsch, ich magam Zug, aber ich weiß nicht, or it's just verstehen the reason why people that are in the spectrum like trains. And I know that Dumbo, if you might be viewing this, because you're autistic, right? From when you told me if you like trains. I used to have like a toy train growing up. I'm sorry, I keep pausing. I can't help it.
That's how no one knew I was autistic. As I got older, I was like, I have ADHD for sure, definitely. And I went and got tested for that and got medicated for that, and it didn't really work. And I'm trying like different medications right now for it. But at the time, I was like, it's not really like clicking. Like I have friends and other people I know who have ADHD, and they take medications like it's night and day.
Yeah.
That's not always the case for everybody, but just some of the things they were saying about their ADHD, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of like that, but also like a lot more. It just felt like, when I was younger, it basically felt like I was the outsider. And then when I got ADHD, I was like, I still kind of feel like the outsider.
Right.
So I felt like there was something more. So I wanted to go get tested for autism. As I was learning more about it, I started reading stuff that people with ADHD can have autism as well, that they overlap with each other quite a lot.
It's called ADHD, basically autism. Deon is supposed to be deficit hyperactive disorder, so to speak. Yeah, it's combined.
Reading down the list, it was like, if you have autism, you likely have ADHD, you likely have depression and anxiety, you likely have intestinal.
Well, that's accurate. Also, this is a little interesting. If you are in the spectrum, this may not be accurate. I just looked this up online because it's 1% of the global population. It says, whereas meaning a Brit, right? You can possibly be asexual because the thing is, since us Aspies, depending on the person, right? We can still have sex. We can still, Bugs Bunny, right? With another mate. But, like, let's just say that the social cues or, like, reading body language and whatnot can be a little bit difficult, at least from my experience, right? So that's why I have a flag of it. Wait, Deon, I think it's back here, yes. So, basically, I have a flag, right? I'm never going to forget that woman, honestly. Oh, God. I still got the name tags here. I'm so sorry, because I don't want to rip up my flags out there. We got evicted! But this is supposed to be, because you can find it on Reddit, right? This represents not only the ace community, and yeah, there was a little bit of an accident on my flag, but you can see the infinity symbol, not the puzzle. That's my opinion. At least from what I looked up, it is offensive. It is. Okay? If you ask any autism person, well, most of us, it's a really offensive symbol. It means that we're, like, seen as incomplete, or we could be fixed. No, we cannot. It's how we're born. Enough said.
Issues, you likely have hypermobility and joint issues, and you likely have asthma. And I was like,
oh, God, thank
I have all of these things.
I did used to have chest pains, though. Not asthma, but chest pains, so that may have to do with it.
Of, like, mess going on inside of me. And then as I started to understand, I was like, oh, all of these things are kind of, like, under the umbrella of neurodivergency, and I just thought it was interesting to get checked for different things and also just learn more about myself. And as I've gotten diagnosed with ADHD and autism, and even for me, getting diagnosed with autism was just such a massive positive. He was talking me through it, was like, some people react poorly to it, some people don't like to be confronted, some people don't think they have it and are a bit in denial about it. And I was like, I see this as nothing but a win. I finally have, like, more answers about myself, why I am the way I am. And not just for other people, and where I fit in with things, because like it doesn't change anything about me. I'm still the exact same person I was.
Yeah.
But for me, it makes me go easier on myself having these diagnoses about the conditions that I have. Like knowing that I'm autistic, ADHD, ADHD as they call it, makes me go easier on myself, being like, okay, that's why I couldn't really keep up in college, because my brain just kind of like works at a different pace. It doesn't really study things the way other people study it in a neurotypical way.
Yeah, and it could overstimulate. So basically, for people that know how to tie shoes, I don't know how to tie shoes. But I can name every single country on the globe. A ton of capitals. Right? And speaking in multiple languages, like I can, mir encantan Deutschland, aber, ich heiße, le French plugs right? So, basically, it's like that for me. People can do simple tasks. I can't. Right? I can do something that's really complicated, which is kind of odd. So, I don't know. At least that's how I feel, my autistic brain.
And it's made me like recontextualize my life a lot more and made me just feel better about myself. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've taken away from all of this, because I've lived with it for so long now, 34 years of my life, that like it's not going to change anything really. It'll just make me dealing with myself a bit easier, to make me go easier on myself and treat myself a bit more kindly. And I think that's really important, because how many of us don't treat ourselves kindly? And a lot of people are probably like, Sean, why are you telling everybody?
Hi.
Well, it's not like you got diagnosed with cancer or something. I get it. Like I said, it doesn't really change much about myself. And it's not like a condition that's like really like life-threatening for me or anything like that, but I think it's a good conversation to have, because when I talked about being diagnosed with ADHD, the amount of people that came out in support of that, but also said that they got tested because of me. Like even my agent said he got tested much later in life, older than I am, because of the stuff I was saying. And I know that some people are going to say the same thing about this, like, oh, I didn't know autism can like present itself that way. Like looking at me, you wouldn't think that I was autistic for a lot of people.
No.
So I think it's important to have that conversation and also just normalize it. I'm trying to fucking change this industry. I'm going into next year with an evolutionary mindset that I want to change this fucking industry from people who are obsessed with ambition and legacy. Legacy is just another fucking word for ego and narcissism. Like you're trying to build up a life for yourself that you want people to remember you after you're dead. How self-involved is that? Do good things and hope people do good things back.
Exactly.
And just spread positivity and joy, you know? But I want to change this sort of mentality around mental health and the way people operate, and this whole idea of like chasing ambition and views and goals and projects and being better than yourself every single day. It's fine to want to be better, but at the behest of absolutely everything else in your life, where your mental health struggles and all you're doing is being productive and making things and just not living your life or being a person or exploring your own mental health and your own mentalities, or dealing with the stuff in your past that fucked you up as a kid that's driving you to be ambitious because your dad probably instilled something in you, or your mom wasn't proud enough of you, so you're trying to like, you know what I mean? Try to break down these walls and not like hide away from all of this shit. Have people like sit in this sort of like pseudo masculinity nonsense that we're all kind of hiding in. At least from my perspective, being like, I don't know. I'm just kind of tired of the lack of conversation around a lot of this stuff. And a lot of people, when I announced on Twitter that I had autism, people were like, dude, why would you admit to that? Like, it's some sort of bad thing.
It's not bad, though. I don't understand why. Just because there's only 1% of us. It's similar to someone thinking, oh, you should be trans. Why does it matter, though? If someone's born feeling trans, then that's a human right. At least if they're like old enough to, get like surgery and all. What's the problem?
It's some sort of thing that suddenly like makes me worse or makes me a different person. It doesn't. I would guarantee you that 99% of the people who do YouTube or do content creation or any sort of creative artistic thing all have ADHD. There's a reason that a lot of us are attracted to a job where we make our own hours and we get to communicate with people through a camera rather than having to be in front of them 24/7. You know?
Sucks I'm not there yet, but
there's a definite pattern to this non-conformity aspect of like not wanting to do a regular 9-to-5 job, so you sit in front of a camera playing video games, or you know. And I bet you like half of those people probably have autism. And they just don't realize that that's what autism is, like the way it presents itself. And it's the sort of terminologies and the paperwork and everything about it. The conversation around autism and what it is completely changing. And 10 years ago, I wouldn't have even said, I mean, even 5 years ago, I wouldn't have said that I had autism. And now here I am where I'm like, yeah, the signs are all there, all along. And the way it presents itself in me is not so much, apparently my communication is good, but people don't realize, like, when I'm conversing with people, I'm going through, like, a million different things in my brain.
So, imagine, being autistic, let's just say, if I'm talking to any of you in my live streams, right, I'm thinking about, oh, Steven Universe, right, or cupcakes, or basically, you know, pancakes, right, Evie, like my mind is, it's like a computer that is just trying to calculate, like, hello, my name is Deon, and, you know, like, but the thing is, we can still focus, right? It's a pain in the brain, so to speak, right? Because of how we can easily, depending on the person in the spectrum, right? Of the spectrum, that would overstimulate. So that's why, like, for me personally, when I live stream, for some odd reason, I do get a little bit relaxed, because of my introversion. I get exhausted really quick. But when I'm alone, I get a ton of energy. I think that's why I was able to, at least, even though this cruddy Mackie is blood to rubbish, okay? Pardon me Australian English, me Aussie English, mates. I basically have a ton of ideas, because I feel like the blood flow to my heart, it actually makes sense. You know, my ass-beat heart, so to speak, because I get a ton of energy. This, you know, because of my introverted body, I get, like, really more relaxed, but, like, that's why if you may see me in my live streams, like, depending on how long I live stream for, I get a little bit tired, right? Maybe it's because I'm used to being around other people. It kind of sucks. I need to go to Finland. But, besides that, like I said, you know, uh-oh, I gotta say I am in Finnish. Shit! Malakalainen, jala, Erzalainen. Okay, I'm Traxi. Moski.
Overanalyzing the way I am. I'm overanalyzing everything that I say. I'm pushing everything through a filter in my brain. I'm reading everyone's body language all the time to, like, see where things fit in. So I always say that I'm a really good judge of character, because I'm, like, hyper-analyzing people all the time. And not in any sort of judgmental way where I, like, throw it back at them, but for me it's like a thing that I can use to kind of, like, help me get through conversations and social structures a bit easier. And I'm able to weave in and out through that. And I use comedy as my tool to do that. I can, like, sit down in a group of people, use comedy, and within 5 minutes, I can get a beat on everybody, and I can figure them out. And that's my superpower.
My superpower, enough said! Jack, you're awesome, damn it. It sucks I don't really watch much of your videos, but Jack, I just had to say something, eh? You're an amazing man. It is wonderful, bloody brilliant that you're trending number 8 at this point, because he has 1.4 million views, well, it's 1,401,880, and it's kind of shocking that he only has this much, yet he has 31 million subscribers. I don't get why he doesn't get much. He doesn't get, like, bloody 10% of his audience. I don't get that. But there are other YouTubers, can I just be honest? I'm sorry, okay? We have every human right not to like people. I don't like Ryan Tran. I don't like Scott DeWaz. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I just get the word ick from them. Maybe it's because, I don't know, I always see them on recommendations, or they think they're smarter than everyone. If you are fans of them, if anyone's reading this, that's fine. But don't bring them up, please. Don't. Let's just say I'm the just type. I would get really furious of you, and I don't want to get a meltdown on you. I don't, okay? That's a warning. But, and there's other YouTubers I don't want to mention. I want to get to that route. I know. I'm a really jealous type. Maybe it's because of how I didn't got much love. Garbage truck. They green, they Clean? Oh, okay, it's FedEx. All right. I just had to just share that because of how I didn't have much support growing up, right? And that's why I get so much jealousy because I feel that it's too late for me. And if I was able to do something, to get pop on YouTube and get my voice heard, I wouldn't have us being evicted against our will and my mother being told she had to go to court in 2 days. We had to pack everything up. Like, we only had 2 days just because of what Deon did, right? And that's why I've been in living hell, think about suicide a ton, and not been doing well mentally. If that actually makes sense. And I did my best to distract myself to all these problems. So I just had to just share this. I would love to watch the whole thing, but I don't know how much storage I have. I think I did have 4 gigabytes. However, though, I tend to talk a ton, even though people don't want to hear me talk because they're thinking I'm really annoying or irritating. That's why I have like decade-old videos of me not talking much because people don't like to hear me talk, and I wasn't the type of person I can form friendships. I was and still am really quiet. However, though, if it's like one-on-one, if it's someone that I really like, I'm gonna have to end this really, really quick. Um, I act extroverted. Extroverted means someone that gets a ton of energy being around other people. It means you're a social person. Extrovert, just think about it. Extra is like more people, right? Or outside. Introvert, it's like like indoors, right? I get my energy alone inside. Or at least I just want to be in my bubble. That makes sense, right? Oh, also, just as a bonus, I forgot. Did I make Steven too hot? He's supposed to be 19 in this sketch. I think I should did his abs a little bit more because he's supposed to be a little bit buff. I know there are men out there that look like that. It says here, "So James, so Jim Ratch, what, to wrestle a rough diamond?" Oh. Autumn! Hush, mamas! Hush! What did I do? Hush, Bella! Hush, Ebony! Hush, Summer! Hush, Autumn! Did they really bark because of that? So, James, who wants to rush a rough diamond? Did he seriously bark because of that? I got that on camera, didn't I? Hush, mamas! Mamas is all of them, by the way. Bella? Summer? Ebony? Oh. Hush! So James, so what a rustle. Oh, see, now they're not barking anymore. Bella? But yeah, other than that, for any Jackies out there, or okay, Jack fans, I hope that you didn't mind this video that I did, right? I did talk for a little bit. I forgot what subreddit. I think it was the YouTube subreddit that I found Jack's coming out as autistic. I want to give him, like, even if I don't watch his videos, right? I love him even more for not feeling guilty or, having the courage, even if he doesn't. Okay, because it's difficult for some people that have Asperger's because of how, well, when you're an autistic adult, it's difficult because people may not take you serious because, oh, they're thinking it's only for children. Not always the case. It's not. Always thinking that if you're autistic, you look younger. That's not always true, though. But, maybe it depends on the person. I don't know. I remember I used to go on Quora and talked about it, right? And, I had to, like, edit, like, my precious or something like that because I know there was, like, stuff that I feel guilty that I typed in ages ago. But, I don't know. I'm just rambling here. But other than that, I can't believe I've been talking for nearly, Deon, it's been 25 minutes. I forgot. I think I have 4 gigabytes of storage, so I should be fine. But I wanted to share that because it is a little difficult sometimes. And let's just say for anyone that may not only be autistic but have Down syndrome, I do not like the R word. I don't. Okay, I mean, I don't know like how maybe because I somewhat care, right? But I know how other people because oh yeah, that's right. There was a video that I need to react later. Oh, you what? You're barking just because I'm clapping? What did I do, Summer? I think my posture are autistic. Just sensitive to noise like I am. Jubilee did a video of like how if you could guess if someone's autistic. I've seen like a few minutes of it. It's really good, and it got over 1 million views, which is awesome compared to like the bodybuilder one, which is pretty cool too. Oh, Hellboy, and it looks interesting. So if any of you are interested, I could do that. You know, I know I've been posting a ton. I don't want to show much of the house though. But see, this is supposed to be Hellboy. I didn't watch much of it growing up, but this is what it looks like, right? I was only 9 when that came out. Oh my god. Anywho, I just wanted to share that because my brother loves watching it when we're younger. And I guess I could see up for the next one. Sucks you can't see the main character, but I don't want to get copyright. You know, I probably won't. And I am rambling. I got a bad habit of it because I know there's something I'm probably got to say, but it'll be off camera. It always does that. Oh, also, yes, um, oh, put a hashtag green or a shamrock emoji for Jacksepticeye, or both, or shamrock.